Welcome guys to the next build for our MERN stack portfolio. So right now we'll just make directory and we're gonna build a real estate how can I say, it's a real estate agency, just a fake one though. So it's just gonna do that and we're gonna change directory there. So let's for this build I have I've pre-built something, so let's just preview it. So this is what we're going to be building. This is the build that we'll be working on and having everything here, and we have that contact form. This is hooked up with Node Mailer, and that's what we're gonna be learning. We have Redux from last build to give us this load screen. We have this, we have material UI working here, having this icons and all that. This is also hooked up with Node Mailer. You can also list your property here, and I was thinking of maybe using Formic because I've not used it, but then I'd love to use it. I'll think about it. So this is the build that we'll be working on, guys. Here we go. This is the build that we're focusing on today, and let's get started and let's go. So we are in our directory still enters now. So right now I'm starting everything from scratch with you guys. So npx create react app, and we're gonna call it client. Right, so this will be the client side for entire code base. And so long, what we need to do is set up our MongoDB. So while that is doing its thing, we're done with this e-commerce. So right now let's go here and we say new project, and then we want to create a new project. And don't forget that you also need your Cloudinary. This is from that last build, the clothes. But then don't forget we also need this, because in order to list what we call houses, we need the image of the house at the end of the day. So don't forget your Cloudinary. And if you do not have Cloudinary, just sign up and log in, and then the rest we'll do together. So project name, let's say real estate, right? And next, and then we're gonna just create project, and then we'll set up the users later. There we go. And if you guys if you guys are liking this build, please like, share and subscribe. This really gives motivation to bring builds to you guys, and I enjoy bringing builds to you guys, raw and uncut builds whereby I get stuck and everything, and we solve these problems together. So our preferred language is JavaScript, and we're gonna be having the free one. If you guys want to pay, then it's fine, but then it serves the same purpose for me. And we're just gonna give our cluster name, and we're gonna say real estate. Right, then we create our cluster, so you guys can choose whatever you want here. Everything is free. So right now, while that is doing its thing, let's go to database access. I realized because in the last build when we started with this, I never showed this, but then now it's good time to show this. And I'll make a temp user, which will be deleted before uploading this, I'm sure. So we're just gonna say test, and the password will be 1. Okay, let's just auto generate because it will tell me that the password is weak. So that will be the password, but then I'm definitely gonna be deleting this. and then temp user. Let's just say 6 hours will be fine, and then add user. So now we have the user here, and then network access. Let's say allow all, and then once we have our what we call, once we have our Heroku app, because we're also going to deploy this, we'll then change this IP address. So now everything is working, it's quite smooth for us. So let's see, this is still busy. However, we will be needing so when we go back here, when we go back, so this is still doing its thing as well. So right now what we do, okay, so this is done. So we just wanna copy and paste this password for us so that we do not forget this, and like, share and subscribe, guys. So don't forget your cloudinary, and we have all the MongoDB, everything is set up and ready for us to use. But then we're not gonna go directly to using MongoDB. It's just me wanting to show everything and just give you a raw and uncut video whereby we make builds together. Right, so this should take just a few seconds. There we go. So now let me just, so from like that other build, because I realized that my Heroku doesn't find my server once it's in a folder, so it has to be in the root directory of everything. So that's the folder structure that we're gonna maintain forever until I find a way of making Heroku locate my server, which is in a file, like in a folder. So unless that's not done, and then we're just gonna follow the same structure. So now we have done this. So what we want to do is we want to say npm init, and the package name is perfect, the version is perfect, description, this is the back end of a real estate agency. Alright, entry point, I love to use server, correct, right? Server.js. Let's go with that author junior Shangwana. Everything is fine, right? So now we have a package.json, and now what we can do is we can just come in here so that I can paste the password, and then we'll forget about the server till a bit later. So yeah, so while we just do this, and let's say server.js, and we'll just paste that, and that should be something that we'll use in the future. Now let's come to the client. Let's focus on the client as always. So you know that we delete everything, we start from scratch, guys. We delete all those files, we build from scratch, and then delete. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's see. Okay, so we need our entry points. So app.js, we need another entry point, that is the main entry point, that is index.js. And then we need our components folder. So as always, we can start with the what we call the nav bar or the headers. Let's just say header folder, and in there let's just make a folder called navbar.js. This will be holding not .js but then JSX, I'm sorry, but then this will be holding the entire mobile and desktop. So let's just make an RAFCE. Come on, man, there we go. And let's just have just a dummy one, just to see that our folders and everything is working just fine. We come to the app, RAFCE. We want to import that navbar. There we go. And then when I come here, there we go. And then React DOM.render. I want to render the app. There we go. And then document.get element by ID. And then root. Right. So now this should start my app. Let's test that out. Let's do this. And then we go to client. And then npm start. And then we expect to see our client. So let's wait for that. Didn't take time. Hopefully everything is smooth. Let's see. Okay, so while that is loading, okay, so now it's perfect. So now let's look at this. So we need an image, and we need this, and we good to go. So this is something that I did with an online editing tool. So I will definitely add that. So obviously you guys can have whatever that you guys want, and I'll definitely add that. So I will go check this out. Let's see. So my web project in the MERN stack, it's in this. Oh, hectic. So it's in this one. I need the client, and I need the images, and this is the one that we're looking for. And I come back here, MERN stack portfolio, come to the real estate, inside the client, inside the source, we're making images. Come in here, we drop that there. Right, now we're good to go. So there's a package that I came across that will be helpful. Package that I came across, and this package basically it detects the device at which is being used. If it's mobile, it then renders whatever that has to be rendered for mobile, so on and so forth. So I liked that package, and I'm definitely going to use it in this build. So now let's open a new tab, and it's npm device, npm react dash device detect. I definitely like this thing, and it helps. Personally, I believe that it helps for performance, that it renders specifically what you want to render. If it's mobile, if it's tablet, if it's whatever, then it renders accordingly. So This is what I like this this thing. So what we do is so we might end up using this thing, but then not now, so we'll see. So React device detect. So now let's see here. So we need to make our header. Everything should be like this. So we need this, we need that, and we need this search content here. So there's a component on its own, and there's a component on its own. So let's start with the header. So we say nav bar. In the nav bar I need the desktop. If we end up deciding that we want to change the view of everything, with depending on whether it is mobile or not, because if we look at this view changes, there's no more elements there. That is the whatever, what are those things when the sale, those whole things, they're no more there. So this is something that we can look into. Right, now let's start with the desktop. So in the desktop, RAFCE, and then we want to import that logo. So this is something that I do with an online editing tool, so you guys can just get yours, because from that images / agency logo dot jpeg. There we go. Right, so now I have that logo, and now what I need is give this class, and we say desktop nav underscore container, and here we want to say the desktop nav left, because it's the left side of the desktop underscore container, and here I want to have that image, and I just put in logo, and I say brand or company logo. Right, and then we come here with the desktop nav underscore desktop nav right underscore container, and for this container we need the 3 for sale. It's 3 or 4. We need 4 for sale, to rent, sell property, and contact us. So we'll just say just say h4 for sale, duplicate that, to rent, so your property, and we need contact us. So this will be our desktop nav bar, and then we'll give it some styling, but then let's just see that this is working, and we say desktop, and let's go to our browser. So now this is working. We have that logo, we have for sale, to rent, sell your property, contact us. So now let's just give this some bit of styling. So what I also like to do is when I make my style sheet, I give the, okay, let's just do this now so that you guys can see. So I say style sheet, and I make app.css, In the app.css, I give everything a margin of 0. I give a padding of 0, and I give a font family. There's this other font family that I'm liking, guys. There's this other font family that I'm liking. I think it's this one. I don't know. I think it's this one. If not this one. We'll see. And then I give that font family. There's this font family that I'm liking. And then I put the CSS into the app dot what do we call, man? The app.js, and it'll give me this global styles, and let's check it out. What's happening now? App.css, that should be working. Okay, there we go. So everything is hooked up there. It's just that this is an image and all that, so don't worry about that. But that now we know that our CSS is working, and font, it's not a problem. But then I just there's this other font that I came across this other day, and I loved it from first sight. So let's say desktop nav.css, and then we come here, we import that here. Say import, and then we say style shift, and then we say desktop nav.css, and that should have been crime, but that's fine. So now what we want to do is we want to display flex for this one. We want to hook this one, display flex. We'll say display flex, justify content space between align items center. Right, let's check this out. Okay, I think maybe this align items we might remove, but then let's continue. Let's see what's happening. And then we give this container. So what we want to do is we want to hook the image. So with the image, I want to give it a width of 100%, but then noting that I will deal with the container width. So I will definitely deal with the container desktop left. The width, I'll be giving this one width, I'll be giving this one 30%, and I doesn't make sense why my image is not getting resized. Because it should be getting resized. Okay, here we go with come on, man. Let's say there's the logo. Here we go with unnecessary errors or bugs that don't make sense. Let's see, because this is really not making sense to me. Because this should be applied. Let me just say image. I was avoiding this because this can then carry over to the other images. Let me just test this out like this before I do this, because you know with React of things carrying over to, okay, it's working, it's just that I had it to 100%, so it's working. So this is a good size, but then I can give it a bit more, let's say 60%, so that is more visible and all that. That is a good size. Now let's deal with this right side. So I was avoiding to use the image specifically because I didn't want this image thing to carry over to the other images that we might have or that we will have. So I want to display flex here. This won't work, but then let's see if it will. I thought that this will work because exactly, so this won't be working, but then it's fine. What we do is we do not need this. I can say align items center. Okay, and let's see if our elements are being lined up accordingly, because that's the main aim. Let's remove this. Okay, so we have that being like that. Let's remove the align item center for this one. Okay, so we have that being at the top, right? So it's not what we desire. Let's give this one a 50. So we brought it up a bit, and we say align items center, right? And now everything looks to be in a good size. If I wanted to bring that up a bit, I could say this to being 45. And what do you know? We have that one being up, and obviously the image will always be bigger than this, and the shape of this one will always be aligned exactly. But then the main aim is we have everything the way we want it to be. It's fine. So now let's just give this thing more spacing. So then what we do is we then say the desktop right container, we want the h4s, we want to give them a margin right of 2m. This might be big, but then let's see. It's actually good spacing. Looks like it's the same as this, right? So we want to give that a 2m, and we have that looking good. And let's just give this h4s and h3. So I'm just gonna hook them all when I say in h3, right? But then we'll deal with the font weight and everything, right? And then what we have to do here is change this to being 3, right? So now what I want to do is I want to same time introduce React router DOM. I do need this terminal. We're just gonna introduce React router DOM into the game. So npm I react dash router dash DOM dash save, and then we're gonna introduce React router DOM there, and this should be it for our desktop nav because it's nice and simple. So what we want to do now is for the mobile nav. For the mobile nav, we just need the image, right? So the mobile nav, we just need the image. That is not that much of a hassle. So what we do is in the header, we create another component. We say mobile nav dash CS, not dash, man. Not CSS, but then JSX. Why am I thinking of CSS? Then yeah, RAFCE. And due to this being in the same root, I know that it will import the logo the same way. So I just bring the logo into the mix, and then I say class name. We want to say mobile nav underscore container, and I want to say image, and I want to bring the logo. I want to say company logo, right? So that should do the trick. We have React Router DOM installed. We want to import this React device detector. We want to grab this one. We want to install that. That is what you want to install, because we want to we don't want to deal with you remember the last build, what we did is we used our own window, what is this, listener and all that. So this is something that we'll be using in the mobile, not the mobile man, in the nav bar. So this is what we want to import here, because this will render accordingly for us, because this is the platform or the main entry point for our nav bar. And what we need is we need this. So this is an easy component. It's very, you guys can just come and read on it. It's very easy and understandable. So we just put it here so long, and we just close that. So right now we have our logo. So we just wanna okay, let me see. So that is installed. So what we can just do this, take that, do the following. So once you do that, so if you see, so in browser view, so what this thing does, it detects the device. So if we were to go right now to it will, okay, so hold on, let's refresh this. Okay, so because we are in browser, it will say this is rendered only in browser. So now let's open our dev tools. Let's go to mobile, and you'll see this, it refreshes, and this is only rendered in mobile. So it detects the device that we are using. And if I were to go to laptop, this is rendered in what? Browser view. So it's a very good thing, and I believe it helps in performance, loading exactly what that device needs. So in browser, we're gonna load the desktop navbar, and then in mobile we're gonna load the mobile nav. There we go. So we load this in that. So now let's open our dev tool so that we can deal with the mobile part of this. So we change that. Let's see, let's say let's go for an iPhone X. So this is what we are having right here, right? So we have this thing of page scrolling. So this is something that we want to deal with, and let's see. So let's style this, let's get to it, and let's say iPhone XR. We also have that on an iPhone XR. So now let's deal with that page scrolling, right? So now let's have our CSS for mobile. So say mobile nav.css. We can close the nav bar and the desktop and the index, and then we say import style sheet mobile style sheet slash mobile nav.css, and then we take it down. So this will be a quick one, because we just have to deal with the image size. So we want to give this a width of, let's say 50% of that whole screen, and we want to say the image should then take 100%, the width of 100%, and let's see what we're dealing with. Okay, so now we've solved the page scrolling. So now we're not dealing with the page scrolling anymore, but then we want to center this image. So in order for this to be responsive, we want to say margin 0 auto, and this is not giving us that center. So I think it should be margin left, but then that should have worked. Oh yeah, because we're dealing with an image, because this is it is having a display of inline, so we want to say display block, and this should work. Tick. Okay, so that disappointed me, but then let me see if I say margin left of auto, margin right of auto, and this shouldn't disappoint me. Tick. What's happening with this image right now? Because as far as I'm concerned, unless I'm mistaken, this image should be centered now. Yep, this image should have been centered. Okay, so let's say margin left auto here, margin right auto, and we have that centered. So now this is perfectly centered, and we can just give this one a bit more size. We can say 60 of the screen just to give this thing a bigger portion. But now we know that in all sizes we have the image being centered no matter what. So this is another responsive element that you need in your code, so we make sure that every time this is centered. Right, so this is in the builds and the next builds to come, we're gonna be looking in the aspect of responsiveness and handling the responsiveness. So what do we do? Okay, so now we're done with the both nav bars. So now we want to handle the search, because now we have this as a component. The search is a component whereby it has 3 children, or we can say 2 children. This one can go together and this one go together. Oh, it's just one, right? And then we just display a column here, and then we have this whole thing here, right? So now for this we'll need material UI for this icon. So now let's get material UI. So we say material UI, and then we say get started, and let's see, go that, come here, install that, dash save, and then let's go grab the icons that we need. But then not forgetting that after installing the core, we'll just erase the core and say icons to install the icons as well. Right, but then for now let's just do what we want. So this is what we want next: remove core and add icons. So now this is what we do. Let's get this icons. So if you guys have like interesting builds that you want me to do, as long as they're beginner friendly, but then even if they're not beginner friendly, I'll try and do my best and get them done. It'll be a nice challenge. So let's get here. So we want our search component. So we want to get out of this header and the search. I want to say search search bar .jsx. Okay, let's just rename this search bar .jsx, and then I just want to import that material search icon, and let's get icons installed. So you just erase the core and place icons, and that should do for you guys. So one of the search icon, that's all we need if I'm not mistaken for now. So we only need the search icon. So let's get this done. So we just say RAFCE, and it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me having the icon on top of the of the React import, but then doesn't make a difference, I believe. So we say search bar underscore container. So in here we need the component, so we can say search a bar underscore field. So in here we need the h3 h4 h3 saying find your ideal home, and let's just do this. Let's put it in its own. So let's say search underscore text phrase find your ideal home, and here is the search input. I want to say an input of text placeholder, search, and then we have that icon. We say search icon. Do that. That should give us that search icon, and then finally we want that filter. So I want to say filter, and then in this filter we just want to say filter by province, or you guys, because you guys might have states, you can say filter by states. So in South Africa it's provinces, so yeah. So I want to select, and then in the select we want to have some bit of options. So we want to say Western Cape. I want to say should have just removed. I want to say Eastern Cape. So those are the provinces that we have in South Africa. So we want to say Limpopo. I want to have Gauteng. I want to have Northern Cape. 3, 5. The 6th one, let's just have 6. 6 will be fine, even though there are 9 provinces. 6 will be fine. Let's have KwaZulu Natal. So there are 9 provinces, but then we'll just deal with 6. It's fine. So this is the entire structure. This, that, this, right. Now let's take this into the app.css, not app.css. I'm not saying app.css always. So when I take this into the app, so when I say search bar, or import that for me. So let's see how it's looking, and then we'll deal with the styling as we go. And I'm having an error that shouldn't be there even. So let's go to the browser view, and let's start with the browser. So we have everything like this, so we want to center everything. So let's get this done. So let's get the search bar.css, search bar.css. So like today I'm having this thing about CSS, keep on mentioning CSS. So I'm gonna say import. That should be fine. I'm gonna say style sheet. I'm gonna say search bar.css, and then now I wanna deal with this component here, not component, but then block. I'm gonna say display flex direction of column, and I want to say a margin left of auto, margin right of auto, so that we have this in the center, Okay, so it's not giving me this that I want. Oh yeah, so I don't know if this is because of flex. I should have said align items at the center, right? So maybe that could have been the case. So we wanna give this thing a margin top. That's what we need. So to give space, when I say margin top, let's say 3 ems. It's a good spacing, I believe. And then we want to give the inner part a margin bottom. We just want to handle this one. If we give this one a margin bottom and this one a margin bottom, it will definitely push this one. So we can deal with two. There's no need to work around a lot. So we grab this search bar fields, no, this text phrase. We grab the text phrase and we can grab the search input. So comma and then search input. And when I say margin bottom of 2 ems, that might be a bit big. It's a bit big. Let's say 1.5, 1.4. That is decent to me. And yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay, so we have that looking good to me in my eyes. And then let's deal with the search bar so that we have something like this, right? So what I do is we need the search input. So for this search input, I wanna give this thing a display of flex, and then I wanna align items center. So we have both these things close together. As you can see here, these things are aligned now together properly. If you want me just you guys to show you, let's just comment this out, and then you'll see that it was just displaying flex and that was at the top, right? So that align item center helps me to put that in good shape. So now I want to say border dash radius of 999 pixel to get that round shape, that perfect round shape. And it's not giving me that because I do not have a border. So let's say a border of 1 pixel solid. My favorite color, F5, and that is not visible. Let's say 2 pixels. Okay, so it's a bit light. If you guys can see, we're having this a bit light. So if I were to say color of black, maybe that will be more visible. So you can see that we're having that round shape, right? Though it is a bit light with that F5. So now I want to deal with the input itself, because I do not want to have that lying around. So what I want to say a border of 0, and I want to give it an outline, because on mobile when you touch a screen it might show that blue thing. So I just want to say an outline of none. I don't know how to explain that, but then I hope you guys understood. I don't know how to explain that. And then I wanna work around the padding of this thing. So let's say we want a 1M and 1.5M. Might have been bigger than this. Let's say 0.5. Let's say 0.5. There we go. We have a good size, but then I'm not liking, I like this colors. So this color, I am to believe that this is light gray. I'm to believe that that color is, so I'm to believe that, yeah, there's this light gray color. So it might have been a bit thick because I made it 2 pixels, so I can like ease it down to 1 pixel. Right, you can ease it down to 1 pixel, and it is looking good. So now, because if we were to look at this, now let's look at this on mobile. Let's see. So this is something that I said we'll look at, the responsiveness and everything. Let's see on mobile. So we're kind of looking good on an iPhone X. That we're looking good. That we're looking good. iPhone 6 we're looking good. iPhone Pro, we're also looking good. Everything is being aligned in the center as it should be. 12-inch one, let's go to S9. We're looking good. So this is something that we'll be dealing with in our builds, making these things responsive as possible. And let's go to television view. Okay, that's okay, that might be too far-fetched, but then we have everything looking nice and crisp also in television view, just that my screen is small, hence the scrolling. But then if this was a big screen, then there wouldn't be any scrolling. But then now you can see that we're having a good responsive element to our website and everything. And yeah, so now let's get back to the iPhone XR. That is perfect, guys. Now let's deal with the fonts of this thing, because this is not what we want. We want this to be a bit lighter than darker, and then we can leave that or find your ideal home to be darker. So then we want to deal only with the cell, rand and everything to be a bit light. And yeah, let's do that. Oh yeah, before we do that, let me just say a font weight of the search to be bolder, and that will make that a bit bolder so it's visible, and everything that is tagged as bold. Now let's go to the desktop CSS, because we're basically done with the search bar. So let's go to the desktop CSS, and we're dealing with this H3s. So the H3s, you just want to say font weight of 500. That should do the trick. Hold on. Okay, so that did the trick. I thought 500 would do the trick though. So we have this, it's less bolder, but then it's more big, it's nice. Now we're done with everything. It's responsive. We know that we're good in mobile, we know that we're good in desktop, right? So now let's move on. So we will be needing this picture, right? And let's go back here, let's grab the picture that we need, that, and then images, and then this is the image that we need. Or let me just somewhere grab all these images, because we're gonna be uploading these images there. Also, there's no need for me to download other images unless you guys wanna. You guys will definitely need to download your own images. And then I paste them there, and then I can replace that one, and then we have all those images. So what I'm looking for is the burner JPEG, right? So what I do is we need a component for that, and that will be our burner.jsx and refce, and then we want to import, let's see, I want to import that. Let's go back again. That no, that was not needed. Images slash burner.jpg, and then in here I will say class name of burner underscore container, and then I give this on an image, but then I have to say import banner from that, and then I'll give this one name of banner, and then I'll say home page banner. Right, so now let's see how that is looking, and then we'll definitely have to style that. So let's say banner, there we go. Import that. Let's see how that is looking. Okay, so we have that big image, right? So let's just get to styling this, and this shouldn't be that much of a hassle. So we say banner.css, and then we come in here, we want to import that style sheet, and I want to say banner.css. Right, so now we're going to deal with this container. So this container in general, it is 100% of its parent, so there's no need to deal with this one because we want this image to fill. So we just want to give this image a width of 100% so that it fills out the given image. As you can see now, it's no more scrolling forward, it is filling the entire image as we need. But then we want to deal with the height. So the way we can deal with the height in a good way, so I believe, is using the view height. So we can say height, it is, let's say, 70% of the view height, and we have that, and it's a bit stretching, so that's something that we can deal with object fit. Not object fit, because look at here, if we use object fit, object fit, but then we want to use the cover, not contain, because if I use cover, for instance, the cover will make this small, but then not the cover, but then the contain will make that small. But then I want to use object fit cover so that it covers the entire screen proportion. Right, so now this is looking good to me. So now I just want to give it a margin top, so to give space. There's a margin top of 2M, and I have that spacing that I need. Right, now let's look at this in mobile, and let's see if we do have that scrolling, because we do not want to have that scrolling when we're dealing with mobile. But then it should fit this whole page, so it is fitting this whole page as it should, but then it's not scrolling, and this is something that is actually good for me. But then the height then is messing things up for me. Let's say 60, because I do not want to have that like scrolling like that. Let's see how it is looking on desktop, how 60 is looking. 60 is also fine on desktop, honestly. So let's just go back to mobile. Let's see. So we're looking good on a phone, and there's no scrolling here. Let's see on another device, it's also looking good. If it's looking good, yeah, let's go for a smaller one. Let's go for not an iPad but an iPhone 6. We're looking good. Let's go to some Android S9. We definitely looking good. Everything is responsive, guys. So this is the responsive element that you need, or responsive approach of doing your project. So now we have our images and everything is being responsive. So let's just deal with some before I end this video. So now let's get okay, let's see, should I make the form, or yeah, let's deal with some server side whereby one can list their houses, and it will be done for this video. So right now we just want to have sell your property to be available, right? So let's just get that done, and we'll be done with this video, for this first video for this build. So or I can say house listing form dot JSX, So in the house listing form, RAFCE, and then I can say class name, and I say house listing and underscore container, and then okay, so let's see on that form. So it's quite a huge form, but then let's see. So we need the name, surname, IT number, email, province, street, sell or rent, number of bedrooms, garages, pool, and everything. Right. So I'll omit some few things, because if you see here, let's just go to one house, because those things were used, or I used them in order to have a good display in the house details. And why is this thing saying server is currently down? I wonder what's happening with this thing. Okay, so we're good to go. Come on, man. Okay, it's fine. So here, definitely we'll need the number of bedrooms and the number of bathrooms and the number of garages, because that is what I had here. So to make this look good, so there are a few things that we'll omit. So let's take this image as reference, because the name of the person is not needed, because we're not showing who's selling, but then you guys can add that. I didn't find that necessary in this demo app. So I'll need the price, the number of bedrooms, the location is definitely needed, and the number of bedrooms, and whether it's rent or sale. Right, this thing will give us a good view of what we need, instead of having that long form there, because yeah, it is long at the end of the day. So I'll say label, and what I'll do is I'll then say okay, let's look at this. So I'll need price. So, but then note that this is just for demo purposes. And then if you wanted to do like a real thing, you definitely need the person's name. It's a placeholder. Let's say house, price, and then I give it this number. Say house price, and then I say label, so label, and we want to have whether is rent, okay, so location, so let's say house location, and we'll be having an input for that, which will be text placeholder is house location, and I want to have an input, not a button, not an input even. Want to have a label. We want to say because we have location, we have sale or rent, and then we want to have option, a select with options, right? So option, just not remove the value. So I want to have an option whereby okay, let's just do this, save that will drop me there. So because I need this to do that, so to make sure that one chooses, we're gonna say sale, I want to say rand, and then we want to have a label whereby the number of bedrooms, and in there we'll have an input of number, placeholder is number of bedrooms, and when I have a label, number of bathrooms. We want to have an input of number, placeholder, number of bathrooms. We want to have an input, not an input, but then we want to have a label of number of garages, number of garages, and want to have an input of number, and then placeholder, number of garages. Let's check this out. So we have that, we have the location, and let's say street name. So here, instead of house location, let's say in brackets province, and then underneath we'll say city, because it can be in Western Cape, but then we're in Western Cape. In your guys' case, it can be maybe, and if you guys from USA, it can be from what kind of thing, I don't know anything. Let's say it's from North Virginia, but then we're in North Virginia. If there's something else in North Virginia, something like that, man. I hope you guys understand where I'm going at with this. So we have the number of bedrooms, we have everything that we need so that we can have our thing looking nice and crisp like this. And this is just some lorem ipsums, right? So now let's get some React router DOM action so that we can have page routing. So import that from React-router-DOM. So I want to import browser router as router. I want to have the route. I want to have the switch, and that should be fine by me. And right here I want to say router, and then after doing that we want the switch. After doing that we want the route. Right, and then we want to just take these things, and this will be in the home route. We want to say path, give that the home path, and then we want to deal with the route for it will say path, and then we'll say list, we'll say / list your dash property. Right, and then here we'll have that component house listing form. But then now we want to go to the nav bar so that we can have that link to this route. Let's say copy this, desktop nav, and then want to import link. So say import link from React router DOM, and then sell your property. You want to say link, Before I cut that, I want to paste this there. Oh yeah, I want to say 2, and then I paste that there, and then I take this one, wrap that one there, and because I know for sure that this will be blue, I can just add this inline styling, say style, and then I say text decoration of none, and then I bring back the color of black. Right, so let's go back there, let's see. So we have that here, and this is like this. So but then this is easy. The way to solve this is giving all this a class. So wherever that I have, let's say, class name of links, now let's say link, so let's copy that, paste that there, paste that, also paste that, I also paste that, and then we go to the desktop nav. So instead of hooking everything like this, we just paste the link, and that should do the trick for us. Right, so that should do the trick for us, and it's taking us to the form, and we're good to go. So that was just an easy fix. And then what we do in this form, because we'll be displaying flex, we can have an H3 here, H2, it's fine, and then we say list your property. Right, so now this should do. Let's style it a bit. Let's close this header, let's close this component even. Let's come here, and then we say house listing form.css. I copy this because I know that I'll need to import it like this. Then I just save that, and then I come in here and I say import that from style sheet, and then I want to import that. Easy. And then now let's get to styling this whole thing. Just some simple styling, guys, nothing fancy. So we want to deal with this thing first. We want to margin left of auto, margin right of auto. Hopefully that, okay, so we wouldn't see that, so it's fine. So we do not have to deal with this, sorry guys, we can just deal with the form itself, because the form will then, we'll use display flex, and then we align item center, so display flex, flex direction of column, align items center, and that should do the trick for us. And then I want a margin top. Okay, so before I do this, what I want to do is, because I need the in the app, I need the nav bar to be the right. So the nav bar is rendering conditionally, but then what I want to do is, yeah, it's fine, because I prefer not to have this form in mobile view. That's how I did the build, because yeah, I don't know, for some reason I just didn't prefer people to, if they're on mobile, I just didn't prefer them to list their houses. For some odd reason, I don't know. I'm gonna say margin top of 3M, and that should do. So now I want to have each and every input to have a margin bottom. So in the form, all inputs, I want them to have a margin bottom of 1.5 m, and let's see how that is looking for us. So we have that spacing, but then now we need to also deal with the select, so it has a margin bottom. So how we hook that in the form, comma, in the form I want to hook the select also, and that should do the trick for me. So now everything has a margin bottom and all that, but then now I want to give a margin top to this one, but then it's fine, we'll hook the h3. So in the form, I can come here also, so to give it a margin bottom. So in the form I want to give the h3 a margin bottom. There we go, now we have that spacing. And let's focus on styling in the next video. Now let's just go to the back end and set up the route, and then for styling this we will look at this in the next video. So let's go to the back end and set up this route, and then we are finished for this one. And then okay, so now let's get to installing the dependencies that we need for our server. So here in the server, right, so I'll say npm, we'll need install, we need express, we need mongoose, we will need formidable, we will need cloudinary, we will need course, we will need this is it for uploading, and then the rest, when we need anything, we'll definitely add. Oh, we'll need .env, and finally, yeah, that will be it. And I'll need to install NodeMon because I'm not a fan of restarting my server always. Right, so now we come here to connect, and you guys would have followed me doing the database access and the network access. You would have done your own and all that, because definitely I'm gonna delete this. So this is something that you guys don't want to use. And then that is also done. That was quick. So now we come in here. We will need a .env file, .env. So in this .env, I'll just paste that, and then come here, and then say I need mongo underscore URI as equals to that, and this is the password, and we do that, and you remove that, you bring that there. All right, now this will be our Mongo connection. And what else do we need? We need the cloudinary information, right? So in the cloudinary, you guys will have your name here, and I have my name. Come on, man, just why are you not highlighting here? Here we go. Do that. So I need the cloudinary name, so I'll say cloud underscore name is equals to that, and I need the API key. Just copy on the clipboard, API key, API underscore key, get that, and the API secret. And as it says, this one is secret. I'm definitely gonna hide this, so it's the API secret. This should be hidden, right? Then that should be done. So now we have const express is equals to require express, const course is equals to require course, and then const formidable, not formidable, yeah, and then const what do we need? Oh, we need to have this only, right? So this will be it. And then here we'll have our middleware. So this will be the beginning of our middleware. So I just like to keep everything commented out. So middleware, whereby we'll be having our course, and yeah, so we have that. We put that there, and we say we need our app. That's what I was forgetting. We say app is equals to express. Now we say app dot use. So we want this thing to use course, and that should be it. Right, that should be the closing line of our middleware. If we need any other, we'll add. And then right here we need our route constants, constants, hopefully that is the correct spelling. And then in here we are still to add. We close that there. And then what we need right now is our entry point. We need the server entry. Right, so that is what we need. So here we'll say const port is equal to process dot env dot port. So we do not have port in our process.env, but in this we are making sure that when we deploy this, and then our Heroku will give us what we want. So we'll then say 5,000 for now, 5,000, and that should do the trick. And then we come in here, we say app.listen at this port, and we want a callback to tell us that our server is up and running. So say server is server started on port, right. So now this should get our server up and running. Now let's deal with our package.json. We need node mon, because I'm not about that life of restarting my server myself. Node mon -- save -dev. We have that there, and that should take a few seconds. Right, what else? So we have that. So that will need for us to set up our package.json. That is taking its time, because I'm gonna set up my package.json without this. There we go. So I can close that. Let's go to our package.json. This test. We'll then say start. Our start will start with node server.js, but then we have dev. So the dev, it is node mon, right, it is node mon server.js, right, and then now this should do the trick for us. So we say npm run dev server.js. So started on port 5,000, and that is perfect, right? So now let's have our routes. Yeah, let's say route, and let's say product listing. Let's say house listing. I think we'll only need one route. I don't know. Say house listing. If we ever need more routes, that's why I'm putting it in a folder. So let's say house listing.js. However, we'll need a schema for this. So before we do anything, let's prepare that schema for that house. So we say models, and then so we say house. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we only need house, right? So it's only house model that we'll need. not the client, man. It's coming here, open folder, let's say house.js. Right, so now I will need that client to show me the fields that we entered there, so that we can know the house lists, not the house, but in the house structure how it will be. So say const mongoose is equal to require mongoose, and then I say mongoose, say const house schema is equal to mongoose dot dot schema. I don't know why my IntelliSense is not responding back to me. I think that's fine. So I have that house schema. So in the house schema, I need to know the house price. Let me see. So I need to know the house price. Okay, so we'll say house location. Let's start with the house location. So the house location. So in the house location, we will need the house province. So say house. So say we need province, not house province. We'll need province. We'll need province, and this will be of type string, and required is true, and we shall be needing the city of type string, required is true. Right, so the house location. So thereafter we're done with the house location, let's get to the house details. Right, so let's say house properties or details. Properties or details is the same thing, I believe. So we'll need price. We'll need price. So the price will be of type number, required true, and then we need the is sale or rent. So this will be a type of string, required is true. We will need the number of bedrooms. So num of bedrooms. We'll have a type of string, required true. We will need number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, num of bathrooms, type string, required being true. We'll need number of garages, num of garages, the type of number, required is true. Right, and what else do we need? So sale or rent, so we have the price, we have the sale or rent, we have the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and all that. So this will be the structure of our schema, right? And then we have the location, which is the province and the province and the city, right? So now what we want to do is we want to have the model. So I want to say house is equals to mongoose dot model and the house using the house schema, right? So when I export this, when I say module dot export, we want to export house, right? So this is the module that we want to use the model, the module. But then we say const router is equal to require express dot router, and then we'll say const house from, not from, but then equals to require that should go back up, go there, models, house, and we should be good to go. Right. Right, now this should be good to go. I don't know why it's doing this to me. It's fine. We'll figure out later. So now what we want to do is we have the router, we need formidable, so when the incoming request comes, formidable is equal, so just kidding, formidable is equal to require formidable. We'll need cloudinary so that we can upload those images. Require cloudinary dot v2, and we'll require dot env. We'll require dot env dot config, and that should do for us. So say router dot post, because this will be a post request. We'll say /API /house -listing, and then we want to get the request response, request response, and in here I want to pass out const form is equals to new formidable dot incoming form, and then we want to say form dot pass, and I want to pass out the request, and then we make this asynchronous. Yes, no, nope. We'll deal that when we upload. So say error, when I get the fields, when I get the files, and then from there we wanna grab the content. So say const. So what I will be grabbing here is the price, the city, the province, the num of bedrooms, the num of bathrooms, the num of garages. Is this it? Let's see our model. Is sale or rent, is sale or rent. So this is all the things that I'll be getting from my fields, and remember we'll be using Postman, but then on the next video we will definitely hook up this form to send to this route. So today we're just using Postman to do what we want, and we see if it did whatever we want, and then we end the video there. Right, so this is the things that I'll be getting. So just like always, I like to validate my things. So I say province so that I know that I'm getting everything. So I say province, and then I print out the province, the city, the num of bedrooms, the num of bedrooms, small letter r, num of bathrooms, num of bathrooms and paid bathrooms, number of bathrooms, and then number of garages, and then sale or rent, and then I change this. Oh yeah, the image, I forgot the image, and also there in the form, in the client side, I forgot the image. That is a big no-no, because then what are we listing at the end of the day? But then I will add that in the next video, but then I'll definitely add it here. So const house image will be coming from fields, will be coming from files. Now why am I saying fields? Will be coming from files. But then what I'll do is I'll say house image dot path, and then I say house image. Right, so this is what we expect. Let's open our Postman. We expect Postman to give this back to us, and we expect to get all these files that we just listed here. Right. Okay, so my Postman is delaying, so I'll get back to you guys when my Postman is up and running. Okay, so now that we have the Postman up and running, so I want to create a request. This is going to HTTP that 127.0.0.1 going to port 5000 slash. Did I copy that? Not. I'm lazy to. I don't remember. But I'm lazy. I don't remember. This route is API house listing. Go back there. We paste that there. Right. So this is to be a post request. The body. Form data. We need the price. The price is 35,000. We need the province. The province will be Limpopo. We need the city. The city will be Kiani. We need the number of bedrooms. Let's say the number of bedrooms is 4. We need the number of bathrooms. Let's say the number of bathrooms is 3. We need number of garages. Let's say we have 2 garages there. We need the is sale or rent. Let's say it is a sale. And we need the house image. Let's give this a type of file, and let's go select the image that we need, and not the clothes this time. Let's go back to that. What's happening now? To that web project, manage that portfolio, real estate, the client source images. How am I having React things here? Let's say image, that's fine. Okay, so now we have everything, right? So let's send this request and let's see. Oh, this won't work because we didn't send this route to the server. Right, this won't work. I forgot that. So let's say module.export is equals to router. I forgot that, bear with me guys. So let's go to the server and we want the route constant, which is right inside here. Now say const house listing, or I can remove the middle values, man. Like the middle lines, they really bothering me. The top ones, they good to show the start of things, but then the middle ones, they're not good to the eye, to be honest. I just thought I'll try something new, but then this is always something that I do. So house listing route is equals to require, and we want to require the route coming from house listing, and then the route now. So on the routes, so the routes themselves, they are right here below, and then we say app.use house listing route. So now this should do the trick for us. And okay, makes sense why that thing was not because if you saw, this is not giving me that green thing to show that I've imported that, and it's because I omitted the equal sign. Makes sense now. And now this house listing is now proper, and this should be proper. I just don't like having my, what is this thing, man, this terminal all clustered with error messages and all that. So if I send back this request, I expect to get everything. You see, I get the province, city, number of bedrooms, number of garages, as rent, as that. So now we know that we're getting all contents that we need, right? So now it's the matter of uploading this and then taking the URL, that same process that we did in the e-commerce. If you didn't watch that, I recommend that you go watch that. It is a fully functional e-commerce website where we're building it raw and uncut, whereby you guys saw my mistakes, you saw me fix errors and all that. It was nice, eh? So now what we want to do is we want to say Cloudinary. Okay, so we need the Cloudinary configs and we need the Mongodb connection. So right here, we say, yeah, it is the Mongodb config and Cloudinary config, right? So this is the initialization of our configuration for this both cloud services that we're making use of. So we'll say const mongo URI equal to process.env dot mongo underscore URI, and then my cloudinary config, cloudinary.config. This takes in an object whereby it takes in the cloud underscore name, which will be the process.env dot cloud underscore name. We need the API underscore key, which is the process.env dot API underscore key, whereby we also need the API underscore secret. That is the process.env dot API underscore secret. Right, so this is the configurations that we need. So now let's get started. So now we're saying first we need the connection now, the MongoDB connection. Let's say MongoDB connection. Right, and this is something that we need to see that it is working. So let's say mongoose, because we have mongoose. Nope. Let's import that. Const mongoose is equal to require mongoose, and then you say that mongoose, not mongoose, mongoose dot connect. I want to connect with the Mongo URI. Use new URL parser to being true. Use unified topology to being true, and then this will either return back to me an error, and if this then returns an error, I want to see that error that I am getting there. So if error return log of the error message, else if there's no error, I want you to return log saying that connection to MongoDB was successful. Right, so now let's test this out and see if our connection, we do get this connection. Right, okay, so mongoose, the URL parameter to open URL must be a string and all that. So let's see Mongo URI, press the env Mongo URI, unless maybe I didn't call it Mongo underscore URI. Just go to .env. Oh yeah, as you can see, I didn't name it the way I just wrote it there. It should be like this, and that should do the trick for me. And we just cancel out that, and let's see, there we go. So we have connected successfully to MongoDB. So now what we want to do is we now want to start with the uploading and then sending it back to the MongoDB. So cloudinary.uploader .upload. So what I want to do right here, I want to specify the house image .path, but then now I want to specify the folder at which this should be going. So this should be going to house agency, so that I have my things looking proper. So house agency, so this doesn't break for me, and I say houses, and I say houses. Right, that should do. And then this should be asynchronous for me, and then this will bring back an error if I'm not mistaken, and after bringing back that error, it will bring back a result. So what I want to do is if there's any errors, I want to log out the error. I want to return this thing, and then else if there's no error, I want to say const image underscore URL is equals to result dot URL, and that will give me the URL. However, now I want to say const house new house is equal to I want to say house, I want to say new house, and in this new house we want to take out, now we need that model so we can see what's happening. So we see exactly how we want to structure this. So in the model we need the house location, right? So we need the house underscore location. So in the house location I need the province, so I'll say province, and the province I enter the what, the province. So I could have used the shorthand ES6, but then just for clarity and that you can see, so I could have just easily said city, and this will have initialized the city to bring the city. So just for clarity's sake, for those that do not know, I'm just doing it like this. And then I need the house underscore details, and in the house details we need the price, whereby we getting the price. I need the is sale or rent, whereby I'm getting is sale or rent. I need the num of bedrooms, whereby I'm collecting the num of bedrooms. I need the num of bathrooms, whereby I'm collecting the num of bathrooms. And finally the num of garages, whereby I'm getting the num of garages. And this should be the model, the new, what we call. So let's just verify. We have the house province, we have the city, house details, the price, the is sale, the number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, number of garages, and now this is perfectly fine. And in our server, where's that thing? Where is those things? Okay, I'm not finding this. But then, come on, man. Okay, I'm not finding this. But then we were getting things that we wanted smoothly. So that is something that we had verified. So it's fine. I thought I could get that, so to show you guys. But then now we have the new house. After doing this, what I want to do is I want to say const saved house is equal to await, and then we await the new house dot save, and I return a response dot status, a status of 200 dot json, and I return the saved house. So now this should be listing our house. Let's go to Postman, and Postman should do the job for us, and then in the next video we will definitely check and see if we get this working on the client. And here we go. So house, a number of bedrooms. Let's see, validation error, house validation failed, house details, number of bedrooms, house details, number of bathrooms is required, house details is required, and I just gave those things, man. I don't know. Oh, if you see here, what happened is I gave this, okay, let's look at this schema properly. So it's a capital letter R, so this should be also a capital letter R, but then I gave a small letter R, and this one should be a capital letter R, and I gave a small letter. And let's just verify that this is fine also, and the rest it is fine. And let's try and list this again. So it was just because of it being case sensitive, and that is also something that you also want to look at. Now if we send back this request, we expect to get back our response, and let's see if we get, okay, we're not getting an error there, and there we go, we are getting our response back. And in our schema we made a mistake. We do not have the house image. So let's say house underscore image, this is of type string, and then we say required is true. But then let's go back to because I do not want to have that image there if it's something that I don't want to have like duplicate, because this is a free thing, so I don't want to have it filled with images that we're not using. Let's go to this cluster collection. I want to delete that newly added collection, whichever goes first, man. Cloudinary or MongoDB, come on, which one goes first? Okay, so it looks like which one wins the race. Okay, it looks like let's say house agency. I just want to delete that image, houses. We just want to delete that image. We don't want to have duplicates and all those things. And it already uploaded, but then the problem came back in from our, I don't want to download, man, I want to delete. Delete. So the problem came back from our MongoDB, so it had already uploaded this image on the first run, but then our MongoDB came back with errors. So now we want to come to this collection. We want to delete this one because it doesn't have the image, and then we go back here, and then in the product details we want to have house underscore image, and this is coming back from the image underscore URL, and we should be good to go now. And our MongoDB connected. Let's send back this request, and this should work, and we end the video here, guys. Here we go. So now we have the image URL. So we're ending the video here, guys. If you like this video, please comment, like, share, and subscribe, and hoping to see you guys in the next video whereby we'll be having our